And the gentleman is recognized for remarks on his amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have an amendment here that restores funding to the regional commissions that invest in my constituents and actually many of your constituents, the members represented here in this room. These federal state partnerships provide much needed resources for communities across the nation. Obviously, my home is in Appalachia, and Appalachia is home to some of the hardest working and most faithful people, I think, in the whole country. And Appalachia spans 13 states. My state is actually the only one that's encompassed by it in totality. And there's 26 million Americans living there. And obviously, Appalachians, we face a lot of challenges. That stems from geography, the decline of the coal industry, impact of globalization, substance abuse crisis, and many other things. But we have more Appalachians actually living in poverty than anywhere else in the country, unfortunately. Wages grow slower there than they do anywhere else. The most recent data shows that deaths of despair are 37% higher in Appalachia than in the rest of the country, which is sad to say. The public water systems with the highest rates of clean drinking water issues are actually Appalachian counties. And so how do I know this? Well, interesting you should ask. The Appalachian Regional Commission, established in the 1960s by President Lyndon Baines Johnson, compiles annual comprehensive statistical reports that show these issues to the wider world, which is hugely helpful. And the Appalachian Regional Commission doesn't just report on those concerns, though. They are active in solving the problem. Each year, the ARC invests in critical priorities across the Appalachian region. These programs align with President Trump's agenda to develop rural America, combat addiction, develop the workforce, and improve infrastructure. In West Virginia, ARC invested $1.8 million to eliminate straight pipe sewage disposal into the Tug River in McDowell County, West Virginia. This investment actually unlocked new tourism and development opportunities, protected the local drinking water, and made valuable flat land usable, which we don't have a lot of flat land in West Virginia. ARC funded a partnership also with Mon Health to get individuals in recovery back into the workforce to break the cycle of addiction. These are just a few examples of the way ARC addresses urgent community needs. Failing to restore these funds will leave these Americans and their communities behind. ARC also invests ARC also invests in the future of Appalachia. So this is an interesting statistic. Less than a year ago, Mountain West Community and Technical College launched a training program with Marshall Advanced Manufacturing Center with ARC funds. 5 students who obtained the certification in systems maintenance, automation, robotics technology have gone on to actually work for Fortune 100 companies at home in West Virginia. So I could go on, but in 2024 alone, ARC funded 583 projects that leveraged $5 billion in private capital across the region. My amendment recognizes these things, and the amendment is paid for by cutting, but not zeroing out, research dollars for solar panels. These regional commissions are certainly pivotal and vital technology resources across the country. And just to name a few, the Appalachian Regional Commission, Delta Regional Authority, Denali Commission, Northern Border Regional Commission, Southeast Crescent Regional Commission, Southwest Border Regional Commission, and the Great Lakes Authority. And so it takes from these research dollars for solar panels from $115 million down to $35 million. That's the pay for here. Just want to point out, though, something really important. In President Trump's FY26 budget request, this research was actually completely zeroed out. And so this does keep money in there for the research of solar panels. And I think the question that we need to ask ourselves is one of prioritization. Do we want to continue these great public-private partnerships and training programs that we have such as the Appalachian Regional Commission that has done great work since its creation by President Johnson? Or do we want to do research on solar panels? To me, I think this makes a lot more sense. Yes, sir.
Chairman, you.
Yes, sir.
Now, there are several regional commissions, including national ones. Does your amendment increase funding for them as well as the Appalachian Regional?
It does. It actually brings back funding for all of them to the FY25 level, not just the Appalachian Regional Commission. Obviously, I'm just talking about mine, but all the commissions would be brought back to the FY25 funding levels, with the offset obviously coming from this solar panel research dollars that I mentioned previously.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. And I yield back.